What's good, you guys? Daniel Cruz here. We are back with another episode of Cook with Cruz. I got a really dope video for you guys today. I'm working with a crazy sample here and playing some beefy piano and guitar chords on top of it. And just like in last week's episode, this sample originates from my boy Vontae Thomas's Dirty Scale drum kit. But this is actually a sample he cut up instead of a melody he played. It's super dope, and you know the kit is fire if I'm using it 2 weeks in a row. So go check that out if you haven't already. I do a lot of crazy stuff to this beat here, chopping up the sample, playing the keys on top, adding some live guitar. This video will be dope. Let's get into it. Alright, so getting right into it, gonna play the raw sample here for you. This is what started everything off. There goes the sample there, super fire. All I really wanted was the first half there, so that's all I used from the sample. Really didn't do no crazy effects on it. I really liked how Vontae did his thing on it. Only thing I added was some background vinyl noise to give it more of a vintage feel. I also put a high pass filter on in the intro to kind of just make a cool little transition here. Alright, so the next thing that I did or I added, wanted to add some bass. The reason I'm doing the bass first, I want to find the key of the sample. And if I can get my root bass notes right, that's going to set the foundation for the chords that I'm going to play. Again, I mentioned this in detail back in the video where I broke down Coming Off Strong by Quincy on how I was playing the keys on top of the sample. So my goal after getting the sample right is to really find the key in those root notes. So once I got those down, came up with a little bass pattern here. I really wanted an electric bass, so I pulled up Scarby Pre-Bass. It's a contact expansion here. It fit perfect with the sound that I was looking for. So there goes our bass there. It's going to set me up for the keys now and the chords that I want to play. Pulled up Keyscape, Wing Upright Dark Indie. For our effects here, threw on some saturation filter, EQ, and Black Hole, which is a pretty dope reverb VST. So now I got the main piano chords down. I actually went back into that same pattern and I re-recorded some high octave notes. It's going to make the piano sound a bit more full. Here's what it sounds like right here. So that wraps up our full piano there. Next thing I wanted to add was like a high road run on the high keys. Pulled up Mellow Organ Rhodes and Omnisphere here. That's just a real subtle but nice effect here. So now almost done with our intro here. Last thing I add is a part of the drums that I used from the verse. I chopped up a hat loop and put that on the second half of our intro here. So here's what that sounds like. intro there, we're going to jump into the drop of the verse now. I really wanted to put a heavy emphasis on the chords that I was playing. So to solidify that foundation, I played the same chords on the piano on the guitar. If I'm right, it's F minor 7th and A flat major 7th. If anybody really knows the keys in the comments, feel free to correct me. I believe those are the chords that I used. But I just played those chords on the guitar again to solidify our foundation, which you can see right here. And looking in to see how I got the guitar to sound that way, mostly due to Guitar Rig here, Breath You Hold preset, as well as some additional reverb here. To go even further with our chords, I took our piano chords and rendered that into Edison and then reversed it. If you see my other videos, you know I like to put things in reverse. Sounds really dope to me. Jumping into the effects for our reverse piano here, gotta show off the echo melt. That's what gave it that sort of detuned, flangey sound. So now here's our foundation we have between the guitar I played, the reverse keys, and our bass. Alright, so now let's jump back to our sample now that we got our chords down. This time with the sample, I shot it up a whole octave just to change it up. I also chopped it up to where it comes in and out. It was just kind of what I was hearing in my head, and I chopped it up how I wanted it to sound. So here's what our sample sounds like now. Alright, so that's going to wrap up our instrumentation here. Now we're going to go into the drums, which is a very big part of this beat. I got a lot of stuff going on with the drums. A lot of subtle things actually, and everything just harmonized together. But let's check out these drums here. So here's our loop that I played in the intro already. We're going to come down here and throw in this extra loop here. We use for our snare. Some hat rolls I chopped up here. Kick. Some crash here. That's going to wrap up our drums for the beginning of the verse here. Let's hear how it drops now. Right there, sounding really dope. So now moving on to the second half of our verse here. Our main piano from the intro is going to come back in. Our bass that we've been using so far is going to come out, actually add a different bass patch here. That is Growler Moog bass in Omnisphere. I wanted a more gritty, deeper bass here. Almost sounds like an 808 for this section. And for our drums, I just add an extra snare to layer up what we already have, as well as a simple close tap pattern here. So after adding those three things in, here's what it sounds like going into that second half now. come into the hook of the beat here. It's going to start off with exactly what we had in the intro. After the first couple bars, then all the drums are going to drop in full. So I don't really introduce anything new, just some structuring, and I bring everything together right here. So there it goes right there. That's the whole beat all done. Again, we took a really dope sample and put some really big chords onto it. I had a lot of fun making this beat here, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think of the beat here in the comments, and also let me know who you hear on it. And also, if you have any suggestions on topics, things you want to see in future videos, please leave them in the comments for me. I will 100% get back to you and possibly do a video about it. I really appreciate you. If you made it this far into the video, please leave a like for me. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. I will be back next Sunday with another video just like this, breaking down my beats, showing all my secrets, playing everything out for you. But that is all for me today. I will see you next Sunday. I'm out. Peace.